Welcome, folks. Tonight on Terry's blog. Yup, that's right, I'm Terry. We will be discussing a truly controversial subject, something that could really go both ways. Is it beneficial or is it just harming us and we can't see it? Tonight we will be debating whether globalization benefits us more than it harms us. Now we are going to take a look at globalization from four different lenses: socially, politically, environmentally, and economically. So for those of you who are asking yourself, what's globalization? Well, what is globalization? Globalization is quite simple actually. It's being interconnected and integrating ourselves among the people, the companies, and the governments of many different nations. It is a process that is driven by international trades and investments, and this is helped by the advanced information technology that is at our disposal. We are now making networks with thousands and thousands of other countries. However, is this really harming us? We are going to find out. Now, there is no doubt that technology has greatly influenced the integration of the concept of globalization. The impact of communication technology on globalization can be seen in the education sector as well. Nowadays, there are a lot of students who are now able to get access to information through the internet. Students can now get certificates from foreign universities by completing an online program. The innovations in communication technology have brought a marked difference to the way education is imparted and has led to an improvement in the quality of our education. Also, it is now possible for you to transfer your money to your friend through a click of a mouse. You can travel to foreign countries without carrying any cash. The impact of globalization on banking industries has been prominent, and today we can see various banks being streamlined through effective communication channels. The innovation in communication technology has also led to globalization of banking industries, as leading banks from all over the world now have their offices in almost every country of the world. So how does globalization help us socially? Well, first of all, it's a social collaboration that not only integrates a society to a larger world economy, but it also roots out its flaws. Globalization also nourishes innovative ideas that can be easily implemented, which then greatly helps to stimulate the economy. A stimulated economy is essential to create job opportunities and a steady environment. Also, every society has its own cultural identity. Globalization gives you the opportunity to learn a foreign language, their beliefs, rituals, values, goals, and lifestyles, as well as share and talk about your own culture. We are then promoting a new way of integrating cultures together. This mentality is called multiculturalism. It is a concept that emerged from globalization in the 1960s. It maintains different cultures and promotes their social linking. The theory of globalization enables us to share and adopt other cultures around the world from other countries. Now let's take a look at the economy. Economic globalization is all about you, the average Canadian citizen, using some electronic goods made in Taiwan, driving a manufactured car in Europe, or consulting a customer service executive from India to troubleshoot the problem with your laptop. Technology has been one of the principal drivers of globalization. Advances in information technology, in particular, have dramatically transformed economic life. Information technologies have given all sorts of individual economic actors, such as consumers, investors, and large corporations, faster and more informed analysis of economic trends around the world, easy transfer of assets, and collaboration with far-flung partners. Have you ever seen an ad on TV and decided that you want to buy the product? You call the number mentioned on your TV screen and get to speak to a customer service agent. The agent gives you the product details, verifies your address, takes down your credit card details, and gives you the time frame by which the product would be delivered to you. You receive the product in a couple of days and life goes on as usual. But what if someone told you that the product that you just received was manufactured in England, packaged in China, and delivered to you by a Korean company? You probably would be amazed. And on top of that, the agent that you spoke to was not in Montreal or somewhere in the States.
No, that agent was most probably somewhere in India, which is some 8,500 miles away from where you are.
Now let's take a second and really think about this. Why do we have companies going overseas to create their branches and calling centers? Well, it's simple actually. It costs less money. One of the most common complaints against globalization in business is that it leads to unfair payments of wages and salaries. Skilled labor is paid differently in different countries by the same company. Thus, the rich company goes on becoming more rich, while the labor skills are not yet appreciated with justice. This leads to strikes, less employee retention, and problems with the unions. Most of the US companies have saved around 30 to 50% of their costs by taking their back office, billing, and customer services offshore. These developments have made managers to work closely with their counterparts from other countries, which, apart from a business perspective, also gives them an opportunity to understand each other's cultures in a better way. Globalization will never be complete without the exchange of information. Multinational companies like Coca-Cola, McDonald's, and Nike will all rely on a fast, reliable communication system to enable them to monitor the overseas activities. Communication technologies allows an organization to get the latest updates from different parts of the world where its business is located, and also allows them to have an increased regulation. The latest innovations in web conferencing have made it possible for businessmen to interact with each other in a better way. The developments that we have seen in the business sector would have never been possible without the presence of an effective communication system. One of the prime examples of the impact of the communication on globalization is the surge in outsourcing that we have seen over the last decade or so. These are just some of the examples in which communication technology has helped globalization. It has played a major role in making the world a global village, and it is widely believed that globalization would have been a simple dream without the help of communication. Now, until now, globalization has been viewed as a quite beneficial aspect of society. But we have not yet looked at the negative side of globalization. Let's take a closer look at what globalization has an effect on our environment. Activists have pointed out that globalization has led to an increase in the consumption of products, which has impacted the ecological cycle. Increased consumption leads to an increase in the process of goods, which in turn puts stress on the environment. Globalization has also led to an increase in the transportation of raw materials and food from one place to another. Earlier, people used to consume locally grown food, but with globalization, people consume products that have been developed across the country, across the world, across the globe. There are no limits. The amount of fuel that is consumed in transporting these products has led to an increase in the pollution levels in the environment. And it has also led to several other environmental concerns such as noise pollution and landscape intrusion. Transportation has also put a strain on the non-renewable sources of energy that we have in this world, such as gasoline. The gases that are emitted from the aircrafts used to transport these goods from country to country has led to the depletion of the ozone layer apart from increasing the greenhouse effect. The industrial waste that is generated as a result of production has been laid on ships and dumped into oceans. This has killed many underwater organisms and has deposited many harmful chemicals into the ocean. The damage caused to ecosystems from oil that spilled from one of the leaking containers of British Petroleum in 2010 is just one of the examples of the threat globalization poses to the environment. In various parts of the world, mountains are being cut to make way for a passing tunnel or highway. Vast barren lands have been encroached upon to pave way for new buildings. While humans may rejoice on the glimmer with these innovations, these can have long-term effects. Various studies have shown that plastic is one of the major toxic pollutants as it is a non-biodegradable product. To conclude, globalization has made so many changes in our lives that reversing it is not possible. The solution lies in developing effective mechanisms that check the extent to which it can impact the environment. Researchers are of the view that the answer to this problem lies in the problem itself. That is, globalization itself can lend support to building a better structure which is economically feasible and environmentally friendly. Globalization is about competition, and if certain privately owned companies can take the lead in being environmentally friendly, then it will encourage others to follow suit. It is important that we put in some efforts to maintain harmony with the environment. The survival of the human race on this planet is dependent on the environment to such a large extent that we cannot afford to ignore the consequences of our own action. The answer lies within us. We just have to take into account that our environment can no longer endure the damage that we have been doing to this. Here you have it on Terry's blog. Tune in next week for the next hot topic. Thank you.